more than 2 users to log into the same to the same server at the same time via RDP.
Hmm.
Okay, so that's when we need to install this RDSH role.
Okay.
This is nothing but remote desktop session host role. The moment we install it, it gives an option where we can configure some group policy settings. So where we can limit the number of users. If we want 200, we can put 200 as in the group policy, and accordingly 200 simultaneous connection would be can be established here. 200 users can take RDP to the same virtual machine.
Okay.
Previously it was only 2, now it is 200.
Yes.
Of course there would be a load and the response would be slow, but at the same time they are logging in, right?
Yeah. So by default, it will be two only. But
Yeah,
once we when we install the roles, apply the roles
n-
on that. So
not
max.
roles. It's a remote
Yeah, sorry.
desktop session role.
Session
Session
host.
host role.
Host. Okay.
I'll just put a name. Just a moment.
Yeah. Remote desktop session host.
Okay,
Yeah.
this role. This plays a
Yes.
crucial. I
Hmm.
worked on this specific technology for 3 years. I had to work.
Oh. Okay.
Okay, so this is very important, very critical during the COVID situation. So people were using this remote desktop session only. So we used
Hmm.
to configure on the server and used to give access to them. Okay,
Okay.
this is specifically the vast. But for you to remember one thing: when there is no role installed, so by default two simultaneous RDP administrative sessions are allowed.
Okay.
Okay, if you need to have more than 2 users connect RDP session, then you should go for you need to install the role, and accordingly we need to configure the license also. That is the secondary part. Okay, the
Okay.
so the moment we install, it gives 180 days of grace period. 180 days. 180
Hmm.
days of grace period. Okay.
Okay.
In between we need to purchase license and all.
Okay.
Not 180, it's a 120 days. Sorry, 120 days. Okay.
Okay.
Okay. Now I Harish who is connected to this virtual machine. He just closed the session, RDP session. He didn't sign out. He
Hmm.
directly he directly did close the session. So it will be in the disconnected state. So I can set a policy by sitting here itself. No need to go to the server. From here only I can set the policy. Okay.
Hmm.
So what group policy is doing? It is actually reducing the admin task. I no need to go to the virtual machine or the server, physical server, which is located somewhere and do the changes. Likewise, if I need to do the same thing here, so again I need to go come here and do that. But it is giving centralized managed services. So centrally, I can sit and manage the services, right? So how I can manage? How I can use this group policy. What is this group policy? This is nothing but collection of settings which can be applied to a computer or user.
Yeah.
Okay,
Hmm.
right. So how can you do that? I'll show you. So what I can do is that either I can go to the tools and go to the group policy management. This is one way. Or if I don't want to go here, I can type shortcut is gpmc.msc, group policy management console.msc. Okay. Okay. So I can configure it. So what I configured, this is a group policy. This is a group policy management. This is a forest, right? techieheads.com. This is my forest, and the domain is techieheads.com, which I created. So inside it, I have created a test GPO. How can we create? We can create here, like let's suppose I have created one test GPO by default. Now I want to create another test group policy. What I can do? Create a GPO in this domain and link it here. Okay. Click here. Put like GP test 123. Okay. I've created this GP test 123. So what is the policy I'm doing that? Now this is enabled but not enforced, right? Now this is a link which has been created in this group policy management console. Now I need to edit it. What is the policy? The policy, whether it should be at the computer level or at the user configuration.
Hmm.
Okay. So usually it would be at the user level. Just a moment. The policy has to be there. Policies, then administrative templates, then Windows component. Remember the path. People sometimes ask the path. Okay. I select any one of them, put a remote. So now I'm getting this remote desktop services, right? Okay. So this is the session host. So here connection. Okay. So what I can do, I can set a rules by giving a double click there. What is the rules? Full permission, full control with user permission. Likewise, I can configure. Okay. This is a one thing. Other is like session time limits I can set. What is the session time limit of disconnect session? If I give a double click there, it will open. Click enable. So here what I can put it is like I can set a disconnected time session for 10 minutes. Okay. For 10 minutes, the disconnected session will be there in the task manager, and again it will log off.
So if I apply this, it will be for every user who tries to log in, right?
Yeah. For the domain users.
Yeah.
For all the domain users. If you
But
want to
specifically,
say,
can I keep it?
sorry,
Specifically, can I keep it?
especially for a particular server, then you need to apply it at the computer level.
Mhm. No,
Okay.
for example, already two members logged in, like RDP. They took RDP to two members.
Mm-hmm.
So, so third member, I want to keep it up for him only 10 minutes. Like that, I can do.
Yeah, you can do that. So what you can do is that for that you can set time limit for active remote desktop sessions. Enable how many minutes? 10 minutes. You can set it
Hmm.
active session for that specific user,
Okay.
but it should be at the computer level usually sometimes. Okay. So that's how it works. And there is one policy, like the moment you make the changes in the group policy, okay, you need to run something called gp update after doing the group policy update. Okay, after setting up on creating a group policy, you need to restart the virtual machine but or the domain controller or the server. But in real time scenarios, you got a request where you have to do during the production time or the business time. So what would you do that? The moment you create a group policy, you no need to reboot the server. Okay, there is something called gp update space forward slash force. This is the command that you need to run. Okay, the policy will be applied accordingly. Getting me?
So GP update means which policy is already applied, for that it will GP
Yes,
update, or
the
yes.
yes,
Okay.
yes, the policy
Yeah.
that we are making the
Ah,
changes. After
yes.
making the changes, ideally we need to reboot the server to have that
Yes.
policy applied.
Hmm.
But what we are doing, but in real time scenarios that doesn't work.
Hmm.
Right? This we cannot afford to have a downtime. So what we can do is we can use the gp update space forward slash force. This is the command we can run. Then the policy will be applied immediately.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So that's the thing. This is how we can create a policy. Once the policy has been created, what we can do is that we can enforce the policy. Policy is linked. Now we need to enforce the policy. Okay. If we need to delete anything, we can delete this link like this. You can delete it from here also. Getting me? This is how
Yeah.
you can, yeah. But now the policy will be at the different level. There are some hierarchies that we have that we're gonna talk tomorrow. Okay. We have something called at site level policy, organization unit policy. Okay, and the domain level policy. So there is a precedence we have that we're gonna cover tomorrow, and also I'll just show this this configuration of this alternate domain controller. I think there is some issue with this nick. I think we made some mistake in the nick settings, so that's the reason. Once the group policy is done, we are mostly done with. Then we're gonna cover this trust relationship. Okay, it won't take. It's a single day trust topic. Okay, so once it is done, we gonna AD part is completed. Okay, then we'll jump on to the DHCP. Okay,
Yep.
so this is the basic questions that they're gonna ask you. What is the default domain policy we have? What is uh, how can we transfer the FSMO roles and all, right? How do we configure the alternate domain controller? How can we check sites and services? All right, so all these things are basically important things I'm covering. Okay, I'm trying to cover almost everything, but again, getting into more into deep dive will confuse you. Okay, so I'm keeping it simple. I'm trying my best to explain the things in a very simple way, not in a you know robotic way or kind of thing. Okay, any questions or anything that you have from today's session? Anyways, I know that there is nothing much we have done today, but we have completed some basic and we'll be covering that because lab gonna take time sometimes. We really don't know where exactly things get into a wrong direction. Okay, so that's the reason lab takes time. Okay, all right, so that's all for today. Any questions or anything that you have? I'll just show it to you. I'll just keep the IP address details and everything with the format. Okay, in the what do you call, in a notepad kind of thing, so that you can follow the same and configure it. Okay, I'll assign task to you how to configure it. Okay, I'll give you each and every step by step process. What should be the IP address and everything. Okay, so that you
Okay.
can configure it meanwhile. Okay, if it's not done tomorrow, we'll check anyways.
Yeah.
Okay. All right, guys. So thank you so much for today. We're gonna meet tomorrow at the same time, 3:30 p.m. IST would be the time. More or less, it would be the same. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. Thank you. Bye bye. Take care.
Yeah. Bye.